All right, so today we're diving deep into Lois Lowry's The Giver. And, this book, it might seem like a simple coming-of-age story if you just kind of glance at it. But trust me, there are layers here. Like, seriously, we're dealing with some seriously thought-provoking stuff in the samples. As we explore these excerpts, we're going to be focusing on Jonas and his journey in this world that Lowry creates. It's both strangely familiar and deeply unsettling at the same time. What do you think?
It's amazing how she does that right, with such simple language. Lowry creates this intricate society in The Giver, and it's meticulously ordered. Everything is carefully controlled, from job assignments to family units, everything.
You're right. You also get pulled into this idea, like, maybe this is what a perfect world could look like. But then, Lowry, she's so clever, she just drops these subtle hints.
Yeah.
That something isn't quite right. Remember when
Oh, yeah.
young Asher gets in trouble for mixing up the words snack and smack?
Oh, such a great example.
It seems insignificant on the surface, but
Yeah.
it reveals so much about this community, this like iron grip on language itself. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not just about precision. It speaks to a deeper control. By limiting language, they're limiting thought, emotion, even humor is carefully regimented.
It really makes you think about the control mechanisms at play within a society like that. And all of this control, this order, it really comes to a head at the ceremony of 12. This is where Jonas and his peers, they find out what their life assignments are going to be. You're kind of on the edge of your seat with Jonas, wondering what his future holds, right?
Totally.
And then bam, Lowry throws this curveball. Jonas doesn't get a typical assignment. He's selected for this incredibly secretive role. The receiver of memory.
And that changes everything.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because the receiver, they carry this immense weight, the burden of the entire community's past, their memories, their emotions, basically everything that makes them human.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what has this community given up to achieve this so-called sameness?
Yeah, what is the cost?
What is the cost of this supposed utopia?
Exactly.
Jonas's training, though, this is where things get really wild. He starts working with the current receiver. And it's like he's thrown into, I don't know, like a sensory overload.
Right, it's like he's experiencing everything for the first time.
Exactly. He's seeing colors.
Feeling the sun on his skin.
Understanding love.
And then the other side of that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Loss, despair, the things the community has tried to erase.
It's like he's suddenly alive in a way that nobody else in the community can even grasp. But you also have to think about the emotional toll that takes on him.
For sure. It's intense.
To experience all those feelings, all those memories at once.
Lowry does an incredible job of making you feel that, too. Like you're right there with Jonas.
Absolutely. And it just makes the whole ethical dilemma of the story hit even harder. Is it right to shield people from pain and sadness?
At the cost of also taking away their joy, their love?
Yeah, their ability to really connect with each other.
Such a complex issue.
Right. And the brilliance of The Giver is that Lowry doesn't give us any easy answers.
It really makes you think.
It does. It makes you question what a perfect world really means, especially when it comes at the cost of human connection. And then just when you think you're starting to understand the community, Lowry hits you with that scene where Jonas witnesses the release.
Oh, you mean with the...
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene is tough to read.
She totally lulls you in at first, this sense of peace and order, and then bam.
It's heartbreaking.
It's devastating.
Yeah.
To realize what release really is.
It throws everything into question.
Exactly. You realize it's not this humane farewell. It's this calculated erasure of a person's existence.
It makes you question everything you thought you knew about the community.
It makes you question the whole idea of sameness.
And the price that comes with it.
Because it's not just about controlling people's behavior. It's about erasing individuality.
Yeah.
Memory.
Love.
Everything that makes us human. And for Jonas, that realization changes everything. He can't go back to how things were before.
He sees it all so clearly now.
Yeah, and he realizes that true happiness, it's not about the absence of pain. It's about experiencing the full spectrum of life.
The good and the bad.
Exactly. And that realization, it's what drives him to escape. He knows he has to do something.
He can't just stand by and watch it happen.
No, he can't. And he knows it won't be easy.
Yeah.
He's not just running away from a dystopian society. He's taking on this huge responsibility.
The weight of all those memories.
Hoping to somehow awaken his community, to show them what they've lost.
To remind them what it means to be human.
That ending, though, right?
Yeah.
Jonas and Gabriel on that sled, just heading off, searching for elsewhere.
It's such a powerful image.
It really is. And Lowry doesn't make it easy for us. She leaves us with all these questions.
Like, do they actually make it?
Right.
And what does freedom even mean for Jonas at this point, after a lifetime of sameness?
It makes you think, if you were in Jonas's shoes, what would you do?
It's a tough one.
Would you risk it all? Your safety, your family, everything you've ever known, for a chance at something more?
For a chance at real freedom, even if you don't know what that looks like.
Exactly. You know, we've talked a lot about Jonas and the weight of those memories and the dangers of a world obsessed with sameness. But there's another relationship in this book that I think is just so powerful.
You mean?
Jonas and the Giver.
Oh, absolutely.
It starts as this mentor-mentee thing,
Yeah.
but it becomes so much more than that,
They have this unique bond.
don't they?
They understand each other in a way that nobody else can.
And you really feel that.
Especially when the Giver encourages Jonas to escape.
That's the moment when you see how much the Giver truly cares about Jonas,
He's willing to risk everything.
even though it means losing the only person who gets them.
For a chance at a better future.
It's selfless, you know?
It really makes you think about what you would do for the people you love.
It does. And it kind of brings us back to why. Why this book, The Giver. Why it resonates with so many people, even though it was written for young adults.
Right. It's considered a classic for a reason.
I think it's because deep down we all crave authenticity.
That connection, that sense of something more.
Exactly. We all question the world around us. We all wonder if there's something more out there.
And this book, it encourages us to embrace those questions.
It reminds us that it's okay to challenge the status quo, even when it's scary.
To think for ourselves.
Exactly. And for younger readers especially, I think it offers this powerful message of hope.
One person can make a difference.
Yes, Jonas shows us that even small acts of defiance can have a ripple effect.
That even in the darkest of times, there's always hope.
Always hope. So we've covered a lot of ground here, but like with any good book, there's always more to unpack, more to think about.
Stays with you.
It really does. One of the big questions that The Giver raises is, how do we find the balance between individual freedom and the needs of society as a whole?
Right. Where do you draw the line?
Exactly. And is there even such a thing as a perfect balance? That's something I'd love to hear your thoughts on, actually. What do you think? Where does The Giver leave you? What questions are still swirling around in your head? Let us know, because this is a conversation that deserves to continue.
It's an important one.
It really is. The Giver is more than just a dystopian novel. It's a reminder of the power of memory, the importance of choice, and the importance of human connection. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And until next time, keep asking those big questions.